Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing good. I am doing okay. Much better. My back doesn't hurt. Just a slight twinge. I don't know. Like I say, what I did to it maybe pulled a muscle or something is what it felt like. Um, it's hurt worse in my life. And the day it happened, a few days ago, I did do my exercises that night. It was hard to do, but I still did some anyway. But I didn't yesterday. I thought, okay, that didn't do it any good the day before, so I gave it a break. But so today I did oh, I did some leg lifts and stuff, and then I did push-ups off the edge of my bed. Went out as far as I could um, to connect my abs in the whole thing. Um, so, and I did them like that. I forget what they call them. There's a name for that move, but yeah. Anyway, so I did 30 of them, and um, yeah. So like in 50 leg raisers on each leg, backwards. So standing up backwards. So yeah. Sometimes I'll do them like laying down or on my knees or different exercises, different days. But yeah, so and I'm getting ready to go out and help Doug lift some pressure treated plywood that's going to go up on the top of our entryway, our porch that he's building. So and yeah, they're heavy. He's gonna need help getting them up there, I think. I don't know. Um, some men are such fucking babies, it's like people in general. There's certain people, like, if you're doing something, if they're doing something and you gotta stop them, they're just like flipping busy. But if you're busy and they have to stop you, it's like they whine about it. Certain people, not just men. Excuse me, men, please. Because I've known women that do that shit too. It's like, you just no other word for the B word in that circumstance. So I had to chill here for a while this morning and gather my happy again. It's like, oh no, you're not. You are not doing this to me to my whole day. And that to me is an intentional thing. It's like you're being set up for the fall. So just watch out if you're around somebody that has a tendency to be like act very childlike when they could take a mature approach. I mean, I'm not perfect in that area, but I've had it happen to me far more than I've ever done it to somebody because I'm very conscious of other people's feelings. And it's like, oh, gee, they're bundled up in a coat and you really don't want to stop them and talk to them while they're on their way outside so they get overheated and sick when. So it's like, no, but then I was a mom. I mean, some people are dads too, but yeah, what kind of dad actually were they? The kind where their child won't even talk to them at all? Yeah, maybe that type. Just thinking out loud. you know, I don't know. I just I hate men that act like fucking bitches. You're not the weaker sex. Get over yourself. Grow a backbone. Straighten up and work for the woman in your life, not the other way around. Then your woman will do things for you and with you. But if you don't have that kind of relationship and it's just sort of like a barter situation, like, oh, if you do this for me, I'll do this for you type of thing, well, then that's just the way it is, you know. So anyway, little bitches. So anyway, um, but speaking of the weaker sex, my granddaughters loved their diamonds and gold. So each one of them, I couldn't really say exactly what I had given them, but I had given my oldest one diamond heart-shaped gold and diamond earrings. Um, the middle one I gave um, gold and diamond heart necklace, and the little one has a golden diamond heart necklace. They're all different. So yeah. Anyway, and they loved them, so that's good. Yeah. Yeah, I know when I was a little kid, if I got a piece of jewelry, it was like, wow, this is great. And not all kids, like I went to school. My elementary school was in a kind of a not super rich or anything, but a middle class family, I guess is what we call ourselves, whatever a class means. And then I ended up going to junior high school in the inner city, 'cause that's the only one we had close. Um, and that was a mixture of mostly middle class to more poor. There was more poor kids in my school than there was rich ones. And the rich ones with their clothes and everything, they just stand out. It's like they weren't really celebrated in my school like some schools would, like look up to people with money or something. My neighborhood was not like that. Or I shouldn't say neighborhood, my school wasn't like that. My school had gang wars and different things outside the parking lot. So yeah, it was pretty, well, like for instance, these boys I knew, we had a liaison officer, uh, school cop, and these boys threw him out the third story window. He broke his back and his legs, and I think one of his arms. And that dude came back to work at this is like getting back on the horse after you get bucked off. That's like way worse than that. But yeah, he got threatened again and he kind of did back off. I think I would too, actually. But yeah, it was pretty wicked, a pretty wicked school. One time I almost did get involved in one of their gang wars because a friend of mine was going to get hurt. And I was gonna fight, but the other parties didn't show up. But I was ready to lay it down for them because and it was a her, I should say. Um, yeah, because you just don't let your friends get pulverized, for no reason. So anyway, what it was actually, just a minute, it was actually more like the poorer class against the middle class students because, well, kids that like me that were in band or track and field or whatever, that type of thing, we were looked at as like preppies or that type of thing, and couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, I worked hard. I had an out of school job I had clubs and different things that I belonged to. I was busy. It's not, nobody really handed me anything. Paid for my school clothes, or and a lot of my supplies through the year. So, I mean, it wasn't that I had anything handed to me, but evidently these kids thought I had, and that was a lot of conflict in our school. Kids that had stuff and kids that didn't, you know. So, went there for a couple years till I did start skipping school and getting in some trouble and running away and that type of thing. And then they sent me to this private school. And then I got sent to a girls' school, a Catholic girls' school. And then I started procedures to divorce these people because really the only upsets that I had in my school stemmed from my home. It's sort of like today, the same type of feeling, people trying to put me in a frame of mind that was going to form what my day was going to be like. And I just I I get rid of that type of thing in my life. If I'm forced to be around it, I just limit the attention that I give to the nonsense. So anyway, or I will plan something to put a stop to it, like actually take action and do something to make sure that the nonsense stops, you know. Yeah, I'll do something. I don't know what, but I will. And lately I've been feeling like that. I'm not letting stuff go like I used to let it go. We're in that season. People are going to pay for the shit they did. Forgiveness goes so far. Just like the slime buckets that um, say they went to the moon, or um, tell you how many satellites they have up in the air, or these types of things, that I don't believe personally. Um, Satellites, maybe. Going to the moon, no. I don't believe anybody's ever been out of the firmament, ever. They can't get through it. It shows that they blasted it. Then they tell us that they blasted the moon and it rang like a bell. Why on God's green earth would any retarded entity blast at the moon when it regulates our oceans? That just doesn't make to actually what try and harm something that regulates our planet, or the potential that it could have harmed it, you know? Yeah. I'm just sick of all the liars and the fucking idiots in a big way. And the sluts on this planet, I can't stand them. I really can't. Adults acting stupid. I could see a silly teenager. I wasn't one of them, but I could see that that could happen like that. No, I was forced to mature a lot earlier than I was working at 9, and a lot of children were still playing with Barbies. I was playing with Barbie too, by myself. That didn't sound so good. Anyway, no, I didn't really like Barbie dolls. I still don't all that much. Yeah. Although Doug did give me this one really beautiful one, but Belle, uh, from Beauty and the Beast, and she's got this, oh, it's kind of like a maroon colored velvet dress and all kinds of stuff. It's a beautiful doll, and her hair is long and brown just like mine with sort of curls in it, and so yeah, she looks a lot like me, and that's one doll I kind of do like her. But I mean, I'm not going to play with it. I actually, it's sitting in my other room getting dusty. And I did have her in a box, but the box broke from a lot of turmoil that my things went through when they were moved. And I just left it. It's like, well, people are going to be so careless with my stuff. Whatever. So, yeah, there she sits getting all dusty. One of these days I will probably wash her up, and I'm thinking of sending her out to my granddaughters or their mom or something. It's like, yeah, here, just have all my stuff. you know, I don't care. So, yeah. So, anyway, yeah. Like I said, I am doing better today. Um, I'm wasn't going to listen to Jason from Archaic's one on, but I decided to. I'm halfway in between it. It's called Subterrestrial Vectoring Alien Abduction Phenomenon UAP UFO EBE PSYOP. So I decided to listen to it because I didn't see the PSYOP part on it the other day. And it's like, I'm just not going to buy into this alien bullshit. I'm just not doing it. And anybody that's promoting that, uh, any kind of non-human uh, entities like that, unless it's spiritual. If you're telling me there's something in the flesh besides our known animals on this planet and the human beings that take care of them or that are supposed to, you're never going to convince me of that. In fact, you're going to make a direct enemy with your lies because I know that the Spirit of God isn't talking to you. And if He is, He's telling you to shut your big damn mouth and you're not doing it. So, yeah. And I know better. Like I said, almost 66, never seen an alien. And you can play and say whatever you want. But when I know what the agendas are and people are just ignoring them, like, oh yeah, we'll go along with this, or we'll say people are reptilian or whatever, you know. The most reptilian people get, I'll tell you in a moment, is your ability to regenerate. Like if you cut yourself open and then it scabs over, that's the closest we get to, or regenerating, like your liver can be just about dead and still regenerate itself, that type of thing. That's as close to we get as say like a lizard or a salamander that you can pull part of their tail off and it will regrow it. And there's some animals that can regrow limbs. Human beings are not one of them. We are not reptilian. We do not have a reptilian part of our mind. This is terminology that has been put on this planet by people that want to take advantage of us. And I'm not playing their game, you know? kind of cold and clammy today. I don't know if we have warm weather coming up. Actually, I'm gonna check while I'm talking to you. I might as well. Um, yeah. So anyway, hearing that Jason knows it's a psychological operation too, I'll listen to that. Like he would say he doesn't comport with that. I don't either. Or he has another saying I like too. I can't think of it right now. It's not buy into it, but it's something else like that. On board. I'm not on board with that. That's good terminology for the Satan baloney or the alien bullshit. Well, today's gonna be 40. It's 37 right now. Tomorrow, 41. 31 on Saturday, 29 on Sunday, 31 on Monday, 34 on Tuesday, 31 on Wednesday, 32 on Thursday, 22 on Friday. Next Saturday, 30 degrees. So, but today and tomorrow, 40 and 41. That gives us time to get that roof up on that thing. Oh, yeah. I don't know if he knows I'm going to come out and help him. I didn't say nothing, but I'm going to. Probably, and this could be, by the time I get out there, he might have devised another way of doing things alone. We do that a lot. It's like, oh, you don't want to help me? Okay. But yeah, there's sometimes that he doesn't really realize that he's put a dent in my life in areas where it made my life more difficult, and I can't prove it's intentional. Then I'm less likely to be as compassionate, because with his satanic connections, he can screw me over in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, my life could change. And he's proven it to me where he can totally make my life miserable if I don't comply, or comport with his way of thinking or whatever he's doing, you know. So, yeah. And I don't really like it. So, who would? I just never would want control like that over another person, and somebody that is sick enough to actually feel like that, right down to like threatening whether I would have something to eat or not in my life different times. It's like fucking sick. And I just can't do that. I'll even feed my enemies, and I have. I helped my enemy pay off his house. My house. But yeah, like I say, I can be screwed out of that in a heartbeat. And I actually feel like that's how it's going to end up for me. I do not feel at home or comfortable. I really never have in my life. I don't feel like I belong here, not just in this home, but I mean here. But evidently I do. That's the one thing I was thinking too, asking people that think they're a different gender than how they were born, are you telling me that you honestly think our Creator made a mistake? I just wonder how people feel on that, you know? It's like you think you can do better than what God already did? I don't know how people think. What are you thinking? Because I can talk about the connection people have with our Creator or don't have, but I'm not going to sit there and debate what gender somebody is when I know who they were born, you know? So, see, now Doug wouldn't let somebody in the house. If there was a dude in a dress that showed up here, I would say, go change your clothes, I'll let you in. Doug wouldn't even let him in, you know? But I would change your clothes and we'll talk. You talk to me as God made you, not as your uh, fantasy is dictating, dictator, tater tot. Anyway, I've been around too many tots and not enough real taters in my life. Yeah, really too. Yeah, you can tell that silly nonsense type of thing kind of did rub off on my attitude today. I wanted to be more joyful, but inside I'm still about it. I just can't stand it. The only time I tolerate somebody acting like an infant is if they're actually a infant, you know? Like if I was in the bathroom and my kid was 3 years old and he's outside the bathroom door, Mom, or even like more like one, you know, um, that's different, you know. An infant acting like an infant is expected, but it's intolerable out of an adult, you know, and they do know what they're doing. But to stand there with a stupid look on your face, oh, you don't want to talk to me, I'm gonna go cry now. Yeah, would you like me to smack you in your head and give you something to cry about? Not that I would, but I feel like that now. I didn't at the moment, but just thinking about it, it's like people, you know. I don't baby adults, um, and that may come from never being babied. And I'm really glad that I didn't adapt that attitude, the narcissist attitude like that. Ugh, how can they live with themselves? It's like just disgusting. One more cigarette and then I'll head out. But yeah, it's God, even looking back at the people that raised me and like with the woman crying, trying to get her way with her tears and that type of thing, or exposing her flesh, whatever it took to get her way, that type of thing. It's like whatever, you know. I don't hate all people. In fact, I don't hate anybody, but I would like to. I really would. Well, no, I wouldn't, but occasionally, it occurs to me that I would like to actually hate people, but then I would be like everybody else and not even care. So no, nah, that wouldn't suit me. I do have sometimes I have hatred for people or a real disdain. You know, like for instance, a child abuser that got away with molesting and raping little boys. You know, something like that. And I occasionally think I should just do something about it, but you know, and I still think about doing something about it, but I know I'm not going to, but I think about it every once in a while. Yesterday I was thinking about that, and it could be because my back was sore. I wasn't feeling good. It's like today I wished I were in a better mood. I mean, I'm in a pretty good mood. I'm not crabby, but I wasn't even crabby yesterday. But I was in pain, so maybe that just, I don't know. When I think about the harm that was done to my children, I do still have um, maybe not anger issues, but a lingering, still, these people should look over their shoulder because I don't wish them well in their lives, you know. And I've asked God to go into their hearts. That's all I can do. But sometimes I still want to beat their asses, is what I'm saying. Occasionally. And that's some serious stuff. It's not just because, like, you're ugly and I want to beat your ass or you're this or you're that. No, that's not why. It's that evil people got away with doing some real vile stuff and they still think they're getting away with it. And I still don't know all the harm they've done from, like, say, 30 years ago until now. I have no clue, but I can assume that they've gotten away with a whole bunch more too. Not just towards me or mine, you know. Do you ever get that though? Like, really, you're in a wonderful mood, but then you feel like you were set up to be in a horrible mood. So, whatever you and whoever you encountered or whatever plans you made, like to make a video or whatever, that your tone of voice or your attitude or that type of thing comes out way different than what you are even feeling inside because of something that somebody else put on you, you know? I feel it's intentional. I really do. Well, that's about it for today. I just wanted to say hello and um yeah, be careful of them whiny babies. I mean, 70 some year old people shouldn't be acting infantile. Leave that to the babies, you know? Let's put on our big people shoes, you know, and do things like adults. How about that? All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Hope you have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace. and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.